Reanimator deck. Looks like Reanimator decks from a couple months ago. It's got 4 Gristlebrand, 1 Sphinx of the Steel Wind, 1 Elish Norn, which will be important in this match, I imagine, 1 Iona, which will also be important in this match, and an Angel of Despair. For discard outlets and ways to put things in the graveyard, he's also got 2 Hapless Researcher, 4 Entomb, 4 Careful Study, and he's also got 1 main deck Show and Tell. Drew Rosen's going to immediately go Lotus Petal, Entomb. Let's see if he has the turn 1 Reanimate.
I imagine he does. Just the fact that he dropped the Lotus Petal into play that quickly.
Yep.
I did say good luck to him before coming back into the booth.
It seems as if that may have paid off.
May have actually been effective.
There's Elish Norn. He might know what he's playing against.
He very much might. And the funny thing is, I was talking to him and his friend was talking about having played, being an Elves player. So he's got experience playing against Elves, is my guess here.
And
so Reanimate on Elish Norn on turn 1.
On turn 1, and
John has already put Drew to like 12.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, 13.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
But I don't think that John has an out here.
Well, he's got a forest.
That
was a try to show you my hand, but just show you out of focus magic cards.
It was probably forced back up. He does not have a main deck Caracas, or a sideboarded Caracas for that matter.
Ooh, does he have? He does. The Izzet versus Golgari Brainstorms.
Nice.
Those are
yeah,
those
that
are
art
fancy.
is very nice.
I love it. Yeah.
And so
I think she just attacked.
Yep.
For a 4. John now to 16, and he I believe has a land there, but he seemed to be considering not even playing it. But he played it. Passed back to John. John's like, hey, can I like draw 2 a turn?
Now, John has main deck Living Wishes, and so it's possible he could be trying to find an answer
in his sideboard. He's looking at his sideboard here.
It doesn't look like anything in his sideboard will help here. If he had the Caracas, that would have been very good, but it doesn't look like he has it. His sideboard targets are Emrakul, to use all that extra mana with, Sylvan Safekeeper, Maga, Traitor to Mortals.
Wow, that's one you don't see very often.
To Fireball. Harmonic Sliver, Mirror Entity. He has an Elvish Archdruid in his sideboard, and a Scavenging Ooze. He also has 3 Vengevines.
I love Vengevines.
But for the more grindy matchups that involve wraths and burning your creatures, but there's nothing here that's going to help solve an Elish Norn. Nothing here is going to help solve the turn 1 Entomb Reanimate Elish Norn draw. John's being a good sport, making a show of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there's any way out of this. He could theoretically cast a Regal Force as a 3/3. That's about it.
Yeah,
in about 4 turns.
Yeah, exactly. Like to give himself 1 more turn, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
So in hand, you can see the Regal Force. There's a Gaia's Cradle there. Nothing appealing.
This Hapless Researcher is going to speed up the clock by a turn if he casts it.
Yeah, Jesus, there's go. I mean, I'm just going to sit here with, drawing cards and hitting you for 4 until you're dead.
Sure.
Or until you try doing something to keep me from doing that.
Yeah,
so.
and John, obviously, with that was pretty much the god draw for Drew if he knew what he was playing against.
Sure, yeah, and I think he did.
And he definitely did. I guess it would be a little bit of a John's got a little bit of that. Of course that would happen to me face.
Right.
Yeah, if Drew knows what he's playing against, that's a rough way to go, and he definitely did. Of course, if he didn't, entombing a turn 1 anything and immediately reanimating
it's already a pretty good play.
A risk. He would probably have gone for the Gristlebrand at that point.
Yeah, I mean, and considering where these players are, here it is late in the Swiss, as late as it gets in the Swiss.
Yeah.
These guys may have been sitting near each other, even if they don't know each other.
That's true.
And, you get a peek at what's going on the tables around you. You see.
I imagine both of these guys have had fast rounds at least once.
Yeah.
And then, so they could scout the top tables.
Sure. Yeah, and you know, he looks up and says, "Hey, I know this guy's on elves."
And of course, remember, Magic's a team sport. As you were saying, Drew's friends were talking to him. They've been doing a little bit of scouting. So, taking a look at the sideboards, John's going to be on the play, and he's got a little bit of a wish board, but he has one scavenging ooze in the sideboard. I imagine that will stay there because of the living. No, it'll probably come in because he's got the Green Sun Zeniths. So he'll bring in Scavenging Ooze, and that might be it. The rest of the sideboard is dedicated to Vengevines and Mindbreak Traps, in addition to the Wish board.
Now he does not appear to be of the Emrakul.
He can wish for Emrakul.
He's got one in the board.
He's got one in the board with the Living Wish. Now I like the direction that a lot of the decks that were main decking Emrakul are taking. Instead of main decking the Emrakul like Chris Anderson's blue-green Enchantress, he's main decking a Living Wish to be able to go get Emrakul, or something else useful.
Right.
I think that that's a good direction to go in, because you don't want to clog up your hands
with an Eldrazi.
With a 15-mana spell that you're not going to be able to cast all the time.
Yeah, I'm looking on Drew's side of things, and I don't know that there's a lot that he necessarily
There's not a lot he necessarily wants or needs out of this. He's got Echoing Truth, I guess.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bounce spells. That's kind of like maybe.
But the other thing is, John has no graveyard hate other than Scavenging Ooze in his 75. So
there's really not even that much of a need for the bounce spells. And you know, he's got one main deck Show and Tell and 2 in the board, and I almost want him to bring out the Show and Tell. If I'm playing against elves and I'm assuming maybe they do have Emrakul, I'm kind of like hesitant to even play Show and Tell, because you know, you always hear the story. My opponent went Show and Tell, and I went Emrakul.
I went something ridiculous out of the sideboard.
Ridiculous. They were like, you know, this, and I was like something better.
We've seen Angel of Despair out of the sideboard of decks you wouldn't expect it. We saw, I saw Venser Shaper Savant out of the sideboard of a Rug Delver deck.
Very nice, yeah.
Oblivion Ring last round was in the sideboard. And so there are lots of people are planning on your opponents letting you put something into play.
Yeah.
So
in a way, like
I
maybe
don't think
he
these
even
decks are going to
cuts
change. Yeah, these decks are not going to change very much. Drew's Dazes are pretty poor on the draw. As is this misdirection.
After the sixth
But
and final
he
round
doesn't
of
have a ton
Swiss,
to bring
the
in,
Rosen.
so he might just bring in these.
Please take a look at them. If you notice
he might
any
just bring in
mistakes,
these bounce
please come
spells
to the stage
anyway.
immediately.
Yeah.
Standings will be final
Just because
in
he
2
wants to
minutes.
take out these. You know,
Right, like I would definitely cut the misdirection, possibly the Show and Tell, and maybe some number of Dazes. The thing about the elves decks, it produces a ton of mana, but they use a lot of it. They'll get to the point where they're like, I need to, you know, whatever. I spent 23 mana this turn, but I'm using it all. I need Daze something, and it actually may be effective.
Now, is Jin Gitaxias an option?
It certainly could be, because
it's probably better than the Angel of Despair.
Right. That's a good switch, I think. Angel of Despair, not really.
Since
many GC
John
targets.
has no way to deal with a Jin Gitaxias. Eric Deschamps, who was the artist for Jin Gitaxias, was here this weekend.
You did an interview with him, didn't you?
I did an interview with him. You can check that out on the website.
Very cool.
There's our compatriot Adam Prozac hanging out behind the other feature match.
Yeah, it's what we do on our breaks from watching Magic.
Watch more Magic.
Watch Magic, yeah.
We're degenerate.
We kind of like this game, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's funny, you mentioned Jin Gitaxias, and I think the first time I saw somebody play with Jin Gitaxias...
He's trying to show us his hand.
And
try again, Joe.
Aim for the actual camera. No, we can't look at it
too close. We got a saving grasp?
I thought I saw Jin Gitaxias.
I thought I saw a saving grasp.
I think it was Jin Gitaxias.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't see a saving grasp in the list.
What we do, Drew has definitely seems to have a good grasp of Reanimator, but not a good grasp of how cameras work.
How cameras work, sure. Luckily, that's not what we're not playing for top 8 of the camera finals. We are playing for top 8 of the Star City Games Open in Providence.
So yeah, what I was saying was the first time I saw Jin Gitaxias being played was on SCG Live, and it was Sam Stoddard. You know this guy, don't you?
I do.
You know that Sam Stoddard guy? He was playing Reanimator.
You know who was good at this job that we do right now?
Sam Stoddard.
Was unbelievable at this. Oh.
Yeah. So turn 1 Heritage Druid from John.
I think you're right. I think that was a Jin-Gitaxias. Yep,
Yeah.
there it is.
And
Hapless Researcher.
no, that's just a careful study.
Oh, that's a careful study? It has a Hapless Researcher in the art.
Yes, it does. It's actually kind of similar artwork.
We're going to discard Iona, Shield of Ameria, among other things,
I wonder
which is
what color do you need?
true beating against the elf deck.
I can't imagine what color you would name against elves, really.
There's Careful Study. There's a foil Careful Study, apparently.
It does look very foily, doesn't it? It's the Faithless Looting without flashbacks.
That's
the
Careful
blue.
Study being Faithless Looting is Careless Study.
Sure.
I believe is what I said on the news and
That
the
works.
nickname special. There's Iona, Shield of Ameria, 9 mana 7/7 from Zendikar. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a color, and your opponents can't cast spells of that color.
That was one of the cards on the very first episode of Yo MTG Taps. We were talking about Zendikar. It was coming up, and that was one of the cards that was spoiled. And I was
We
like,
have
this
a turn
card
2
looks
Scavenging Ooze, which is going to get Force of Will,
great. Removing
Jin-Gitaxias with the Eric Deschamps signature, which I imagine he got this weekend.
Seems right.
Heritage Druid
Just gonna beat
draws First Blood.
in. Yeah.
The Heritage Druid's not the best 1 mana turn 1 play that John
I think he
has.
just hit Drew with like a branch or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Not even.
yeah.
So, Animate Dead on Iona. Gonna make it a 6/7. Probably gonna name green. Although it's possible he can name white because he does have 2 Savannas in play, and elf decks have been known to play Swords to Plowshares, Oblivion Ring, things like that. And green doesn't really
Rhode
have
Island State
an
players,
answer
if you finished in
once it's
9
already in
through
play.
16,
But it
you
did
can
name
pick up
green.
your
We have
9
confirmation.
packs of Return to Ravnica from Matt, who's standing in front of the stage. Matt, raise your hand. He's got his hand in the air.
And John passes. He does not have an answer to the Iona.
Does he have an answer in the deck? Like,
Doesn't look like it.
I mean, he can play Mirror Entity.
He can
Like-
play Mirror Entity, he can play Cloudstone Curio, and that's about it. He can play Maga Trader to Mortals. Okay. We can play Emrakul. Oh, we brought in a Dryad. We can bring in Dryad Arbor. This
Yeah.
is a good one. But this is pretty close to the end for John. Unfortunately, he did not have the best of luck. Your wishing Drew good luck seems to have paid out.
Yeah.
For him.
Sorry, John. I didn't see you. I would have wished you good luck as well.
Man, I need you to wish me good luck before I do things. Haha.
What are you doing after this match?
What am I doing? Did I need luck for?
Yeah.
I could go to the bars.
Okay, good luck there.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem.
I might need it.
Good luck in whatever it is you do next.
Yeah.
You know that you need luck for.
That's one of the more awkward things about we're going to reanimate Gristlebrand just for the
Because it's not enough.
the sick Rubbins.
Yeah. Reanimate on Gristlebrand for Drew Rosen. Yeah.
He's
How
gonna
much
drop to
do I
8.
lose here? And
Go to 1. Why not? Drew's going to play around Gut Shot and not draw any cards here.
yeah. I was like, he didn't go to 1, did he?
Sure,
I didn't
no,
see
he
him draw
didn't.
cards.
I was rooting for it.
Yeah. I think that's maybe a little too greedy.
That's pretty greedy. And
Yeah.
Drew defeats John. Drew's going to make top 8.
So 13-minute round.
Yeah, a little quick little round. Didn't really go John's way, unfortunately. That's a rough matchup for him to begin with.
Right,
And
then-
things were compounded by Drew having very, very good draws, and John not really having any particularly good draws. He didn't have turn 1 Llanowar Elf, which
Yeah.
is the best play in Legacy, as many people have told me on multiple occasions. The scariest turn 1 play in Legacy is Forest Llanowar Elf, to a lot of people. Didn't really pan out here.